I'm Professor Julius C. Hanveri, ON, DSSRS. I'm from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, you know, a time comes in the life of every organization or nation when the people must sit down, look at the past, the present, the future, and have the courage, the sense of mission and the sense of nation to define and design the way forward. I believe that Nigeria is at that stage momentarily. Great men have changed history. Whether you look at the history of Tanganyika under Mzilikazi, or you look at the wonderful contributions and historic exploits of Shaka Zulu, which is being used in many military academies today, or you look at Garibaldi, Mazzini, Count Camillo Cavo in the old Italian city-states, or you look at Bismarck in the German city-states, or you come to Nigeria and look at Murtala Mohammed. For the brief period he ruled this country, he had the courage to do things differently, to think differently, and to take unpopular positions that Nigerians adjusted to slowly, reluctantly, but recognized how important these were even after he died. Mr. Speaker, this bill is straightforward. It is a bill that seeks to enjoin us to look at our anthem as a national symbol and sign of authority, one that will pull us together, that will give us hope and courage, a sense of duty to the nation, that does not necessarily deny the reality, and that is the main problem of contemporary societies. They deny reality, they pretend racism doesn't exist. Ethnicity doesn't exist. Poverty doesn't exist. They rationalize this by looking at GNP, GDP, trade figures, inflation. The reality strikes people in the face. And it is when you admit the realities that you can tackle it and deal with it frontally. So it seeks to say that as people, as Nigerians, confronting a new, renewed hope, moving forward, tackling the rot, decay, dislocation, and distortions of the past, we should go back to our old national anthem, which gives us that energy, that sense of commitment, sense of dedication, and a desire to move Nigeria forward. I have taken time to look at both anthems, the old and the new. And as a Nigerian who's been involved in the struggle to make Nigeria a better place, either as a student in the student union movement, including putting in place the Ali Must Go movement, or as a university teacher, having been secretary, vice chairman, and chairman of ASU, or as a pro-democracy activist who spent 12.5 years in self-exile, working with other colleagues, and active on Radio Kurirat and the Nadeco Alliance, including JACON, the Joint Action Committee on Nigeria, with very prominent Nigerians, including our current president and the Nobel laureate of this country, Wole Soyinka, and others. I believe that the old anthem encompasses, contains, and exudes the kind of energy, resourcefulness, and sense of vision that I believe is good for Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, the old anthem not only begins by telling us of the pride to serve our nation, which is what we require right now when people are jabbering left, right, and center. But it goes on to assert the sovereignty of our motherland. Is Jabba English language? It is now in the lexicon.
Okay, it's now in Google.
Yes.
In the lexicon?
Yes, yes. If you Google it, you will see it will come up.
Oh, Jabba, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it means Jagbai means leaving the country.
Leaving the country.
That's a new one.
It also talked about the value of our.
I didn't know that professors use. But it's all right. Go ahead.
It talks about the value of our national flag, which people tend to take for granted. In fact, some nations have gone to war because people abused the national flag. He proceeds to talk about it as a symbol of what we represent as a people. Nigerians, people known all over the world. There's a video trending now which says that Nigerians are the new colonizers, and goes on to describe what we have done, intellectual sector, in IT, in music, in culture, in sports, you name it. And that we should all continue to join hands, though tribes and tongues may differ. In brotherhood we stand. Nothing can divide us. That brotherliness is what we need to engage the challenges we are facing now. And I believe when he says that whether in peace or battle, all the things we stand to gain, but what we will hand to our children, posterity, the dignity of nationhood. But more importantly, we will leave them with a banner without stain. To me, that sounds even...
Okay, lead around them.
A stronger spiritual injunction.
Because you are very spiritual now. The spirit of lecturer has enfolded you.
Mr. Speaker,
you've taken us through philosophy. You have taken us through a journey.
Allow me to round up.
History and everything. So, round up.
You know, Mr. Speaker.
I know you are passionate about this.
It's like when you go to one buka where they serve good amala gbegiri with a wedu and the necessary ingredients. You are used to it. And somebody wants to take you to another restaurant, you tend to resist it. But if you do not try another restaurant and another menu, you will not know the value of diversity, strength in diversity, vision in diversity, commitment in diversity, sacrifice in diversity, brotherhood in diversity, and the desire to achieve and make a nation better than it currently is. I urge my colleagues to rise beyond emotion, to rise beyond the status quo, to rise beyond the sentiments, to recognize the fact that the anthem that we had before gives us those ingredients that will empower us, give us the spiritual, psychological, political, economic, social, cultural ingredients we need to push ahead as a nation and take our rightful place in the Committee of Nations. I so move, Mr.
Thank you, Leader.